everyone. Welcome to Third Shot Podcast. We've got another fun episode in store for you all. But before we get to it, don't forget to follow us on our social media, Instagram and Facebook at Third Shot Podcast. You can also watch us not live, but we'll be there, our faces on YouTube,
We're live.
Third Shot Podcast, and on X at Third Shot Pod. I think everybody right now needs to grab a drink, even if you haven't done this before with us, but we've got a big toast to make. We're going to toast first, and then I'm going to share some exciting news with everyone.
Ooh,
Awesome.
can't wait for
All
this.
right.
Here we go.
Cheers.
Cheers.
You do look extra happy today, Bridgie.
Extra happy and a little extra tan.
Yeah, you got tan.
Yeah.
What's this all about?
All right. So last week, I got to spend my time in Jamaica for the first time, which is amazing. But that's not the exciting part. While I was there, my boyfriend asked me to marry him, and now I'm engaged.
Yeah, congratulations. That
Congrats.
is fantastic
you.
news.
It was very exciting and, just so much happiness and love. And yeah,
Well, people have
Very
to
cool.
watch this show on YouTube because you just put your ring up there one more time because that is
There we go.
that
Get
is a
close up.
there
beautiful
we go.
ring. He did a
He did a very
fantastic
good
job
job.
choosing that for you.
Yes. And I have to brag a little bit about him because he designed it himself. He didn't pick out like
Really?
a preset setting or anything. He went to a jeweler and
Wow.
told him what he wanted, and he did a
That's very
fantastic
cool.
job. It's so
That,
pretty.
that's not easy. Like,
Right? That's a lot of pressure.
you can really screw that up.
Yeah.
Start things on a bad note there, I mean, want that to
That's
be right.
true.
So
Yeah,
how did
that's
he
awesome.
ask? Right? What was
Yeah,
yeah.
just the
Give us the
details.
scoop on this.
All right. So I went on the vacation just, thinking just a vacation in Jamaica. And like the second day in, he asked me, "Oh, do you want to watch the sunrise tomorrow?" And he knows I'm not a morning person. It's hard for me to wake up. And so I was like, "Okay, yeah, that would be nice. We're on vacation. I can just take a nap later." So then later on, after I already said yes, he goes, "Well, what are you going to wear tomorrow?" And I was like, "For what?" And he goes, "For the sunrise." And I was like, "I don't know, just gym clothes because we can go to the gym after." And he goes, "Maybe you should wear something nicer." And I was like, "Why would I dress up? I'm on vacation." And he goes, "No, you should just wear something nicer. You said you brought nice clothes, right?" So I was like, "Yeah." And then I start pulling out like these dresses that I brought. And I was like, "Is this nice? Is this nice?" And he goes, "Okay, wear that one." So then the morning comes and I had to wake up really early because I needed to like do my hair, my makeup and stuff. Oh, that was his excuse. He was like, "Maybe we can take some pictures." So I was like, "Oh,
Okay.
okay, that makes sense."
Okay.
And then as I was getting ready, he goes, "I'm gonna head down just to kind of like scope things out. Just meet me by the volleyball court because there's like an outdoor volleyball court." I was like, "Okay, I'll see you there like at 6:10." So like 6:05 comes around and I was like, "This is so weird. Like, why is he making me go outside?" I go down to the court and he's not there. And so I'm just kind of like looking around. I was like, "This is a mean trick if he just left me there." And then I spot him like further out by a gazebo that was really close to the shoreline. So then he starts walking towards me, and then I can see something like set up underneath the gazebo. And then I was like, it's gonna happen. I knew that there was something special happening. And then as he walked closer to the gazebo, he had set up they're like theater looking lights, and they take batteries and they light up and it spelled out "Marry Me." And there was rose petals. And then he got down on one knee and he asked me, "I would love to spend the rest of my life with you. Will you marry me?" And I
Wow.
said, "Yes, of course."
That's
Did you
awesome.
get really emotional?
Not really, because we had talked about this before, like months before this trip. He's ask my parents for their permission or for their blessing. And so like I already knew that it was coming. I just didn't know like when or how. But I was so excited that I kind of forgot all of the details of it. So then later on in the day, I was like, wait a second, did you get down on one knee? And he goes, yeah. So overwhelmed and excited that I kind of like, blacked out a little or something.
Right. Right.
That's
Oh, that's
cool.
awesome. That's
That is so
awesome.
cool. I like that he made it real romantic. He had the marry me, he had the rose petals, he had it all dressed up. You guys got to take pictures at the sunrise. How cool is that?
Yeah, it was beautiful. And Jamaica is just, a really pretty place to go and visit. The beaches is like white sand beach, super clear water. It was such a great vacation. And now I get to come back and play pickleball and record some more podcasts, plan a wedding.
And plan a wedding.
Yeah.
Right. Well, now that's the big question. Are you gonna have pickleball at your wedding?
Oh, that's a really great question. If I
Mm.
I would say just don't
have
do it next to the cake, and you're probably okay.
Yeah, if I have any say, we could pick a place that has pickleball. That's a tongue
That would be
twister.
awesome.
Well, you know how the tradition of throwing rice, that you can't do that anymore, right? Because
Right.
of the birds and all that
Pickleball.
kind of
Pigeons.
stuff with the pigeons. But, you know, pickleballs don't hurt the birds, right? That you
Right.
we could
I
just toss those
don't
at you.
know.
That'd be fun. You could have all different colors thrown at you. That would be fun.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Or everyone can
Mhm.
hold a paddle and make like the tunnel, that you walk
Oh,
through.
yeah, there you
Oh,
go.
that's a good
Yeah.
one. That's a good one. So have you started the whole planning?
And we've like had some discussions on what we would want, but nothing that's been set in stone yet. So
Mm.
stay tuned. Spill
Well,
the details later.
actually, Russ, the cake could be a big pickleball,
That's true. It
right?
could be. Yeah.
That would be fun.
What flavor
Third
cake would a
shot
pickleball
glasses.
cake be?
Pickle?
Pickle flavored
Oh, pickle cheesecake.
cake.
Oh,
Oh, I think it could be what? Papaya pickle. Remember that answer for later.
Wink, wink.
right. Right. Well, I was thinking proposal pickle is what I was
Oh,
coming to
Oh,
mind
okay.
over
yeah.
here. Yeah.
Okay. Remember that answer for later.
Oh, it sounds like you're setting something up here, Greg.
I know, I know. We are setting something up. But before we get into that, I'm still curious about this whole proposal thing. And, I've known Bridgie basically her whole life. And it's some women really look at like their wedding and that's their dream thing and they have it all planned out. But I know Bridgie's not that way, right? Because that's just not your nature to be, to have that. So now that it's happening, is your mindset changing at all or
Now I still have no idea what I would want. To
oh
me, it's just like I want my family and friends there. And then whatever we do, like whatever, right?
yep, whatever.
I'm gonna ask the question that Greg's really thinking. What kind of food are you gonna have at the wedding?
Yes, I mean that's the part that I truly care about.
That's the big part, right?
I'd
I'm just
Well,
gonna
say
say I'm
it's
just gonna
got to
throw out
be
brisket.
some
Nope.
sushi. Gotta have some
brisket
Sushi,
sushi there,
yeah,
sushi.
sushi and
right?
brisket.
And
That would be a
brisket,
wedding nobody would forget.
right?
Yes, that if we're gonna spend money on anything, I vote for the money to be spent on good food.
Yeah,
That's
Yeah.
that's
yeah.
well spent then.
Yeah. Well, my fiance is Indian, so we might have some sort of like Indian food, and then I love Asian food of all kinds. So maybe just like an Indian Asian buffet.
There you go.
Ooh,
I
That
like
would be
that.
so good.
Yeah,
with brisket. You gotta have
And
the brisket.
brisket.
yeah. That
Yeah,
works.
of
Yeah.
course.
That works for everything.
Yeah.
Uh,
That works for
that also
everything.
that also means you're gonna have great music Like the like Indian music, like there's some jams out there that get the dance floor going.
Oh,
As a former
yeah.
DJ, a wedding DJ, I know this.
Have you ever DJ'd an Indian wedding?
I have. I don't know. Several, I would say. I don't know how many, but several, and the music is awesome. It gets everybody out there, and then it mixes really easy into like current hits, hip hop, like that type of stuff.
Mm.
Like it works really well. So you could have some really cool music at the
Sounds
wedding.
like I already found our DJ.
Whoa,
Ooh.
no, I'm retired.
Well,
I
I
have
do have some intel that Richie's fiance can cut a rug on the dance floor to some Indian music.
oh really? Okay. Okay.
Yes.
Well, there we
He'll be
go.
dancing for the both of us because I'm not much of a dancer. I'll be too busy eating and playing pickleball.
Right. Right. Well, that's what you could do. You know, maybe during dinner, since nobody will be dancing, you have the dance floor is a pickleball court, and people can kind of take
Oh.
breaks from eating and just go play pickleball.
Oh,
Have a little tournament going on.
yeah. They have those
That'd
little
be
mini
awesome.
nets, right? We can bring in a little mini net and put
There
a
you go.
little cord
Yeah,
out
like
there.
one-on-one or something.
Right.
Yeah. Yeah.
Singles.
Yeah.
All right. Well, we're planning this thing.
All right, let's do it. Yeah,
Let's
we
make it
have plenty
happen.
of planners, Bridgie, so you don't even have to plan. We will plan it.
Yeah.
Perfect.
Yeah. We're planner pickles.
Ooh.
Yeah. I think Greg, we got to just talk about what's happening here.
Okay. Well, we need to welcome our guest, Frank Adler. He is the creator of the game Pickle Everything. So it's so exciting to talk to a game creator. We've never done that before. And be sure, while you take a little break here, be sure that you go to our social media and like us and follow us on our Instagram page, our Facebook page at Third Shot Podcast, on X, Third Shot Pod. And please watch this one so you can see Bridgie's ring on YouTube, Third Shot Podcast. Hey, welcome to the show, Frank.
Oh, thanks for having me.
We're so excited to learn more about your game called Pickle Everything. But before we get into it, we're going to do our second shot if you'd like to join us.
Okay. Well, I thought that
Yeah.
I would take a shot of what I actually drink when I'm playing pickleball, which is electrolytes.
Oh,
Oh.
nice.
Well, cheer to
So
keeping healthy and keeping hydrated. Oh, look at you. You got pouring the powder in and
I
everything.
gotta pour it in here. It's normally made for 16 ounces. We're just going to do 3 ounces here.
What flavor is it?
It is lemon lime.
Ooh,
It's not
classic.
pineapple pickle?
Right on, Uncle Greg.
All right.
Cheers.
Cheers.
Frank, we've already been having fun with the concept of the game, so we're just keeping it going. We're just keeping it going here.
Appreciate that.
So normally we start off by asking people's pickleball background, but we want to go a little bit further and find out about your game design background. And then we can get into the game that you just invented.
Sure, absolutely. Love to. So, I was entrepreneur back in the day. I was young. I was trying to find my way. I had some ideas for products that I came up with, and I was introduced to a gentleman named Brian Hirsch, and Brian was on a tear with adult family games. He had developed a game called Outburst, a game called Taboo.
Yeah.
These were big sellers and licensed to Mattel and Hasbro and Western Publishing at the time. And
I
Brian,
played both of those games.
yeah, oh, amazing
They're
games.
so fun.
Yeah, they're classics, right?
Taboo is one of my favorites of all time.
Taboo is amazing. Taboo
Yeah.
is absolutely amazing. I agree with that. And I was fortunate enough for him to ask me to come in and work with him. And so for 5 years, I did nothing but develop games and learn from someone that was really at the top of their game. And no pun intended there. And it was fantastic. And I developed over 85 games at the time. And
Wow.
Wow.
Over how long?
it's about a 5-year period.
5 years, you did all 85 games.
Yeah, yeah, and some made it, some didn't, but it was just an incredible learning experience. And I forever am grateful to Brian for allowing me to get into the business. Now, there's kind of a saying in the toy business, toy and games, that once you get in, you never leave. So and I found that absolutely to be true. Um, from there, from Hirsch Games, I was very fortunate to land a position at a company called Uncle Milton, which was a toy company, primarily in the learning and science and educational area. And they were famous for the ant farm. If you remember the ant farm.
Oh, yeah.
Of
That was
Yeah.
course.
popular like in the 90s for me. I would always see the commercials.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. And so I remember my very first trade show. I was working it by myself, and I had to put the ants into the ant farm, and I slipped, and the ants went crawling all over the place. And I became an ant wrangler at that point.
How do you wrangle ants? That's a
Yeah, not easily, not easily.
yeah.
And people were running away from me, all that sort of thing. But I ended up being there 19 years and
Whoa.
developed some fantastic products. We became the #1 science toy company in the world. And we went from habitats like the ant farm. We developed frogs, butterflies, hermit crabs, triops, all sorts of fun, incredible little creatures. And then we went into space with planetariums and telescopes and all sorts of things that led you down the path of getting excited about the universe. And then we got into licenses, and we did National Geographic and Star Wars. We created Star
Wow.
Wars science, and we did Marvel science, and just some great product that came along. We were very innovative. It was an incredible time, and I was working with some very talented people. So yeah, that's where I spent a great deal of my career. After that, I got into consulting, and then got hired by another company and went back into consulting. And then I was very fortunate to be introduced to the great Jeffrey Breslow. So Jeff Breslow, who's my partner in Pickle Everything Games, is a toy industry Hall of Famer. He himself has created some of the top games in the world: Gestures, Masterpiece, uh, interestingly, Ants in the Pants.
Did you help him with that one?
No, just a coincidence. Laugh at it. Ants were very good to both of us.
It was meant to be that you guys would partner up, right?
Oh yeah, it is meant to be. But he's a phenomenal guy. He was elected to the Toy Industry Hall of Fame, and then Jeffrey retired from the business and then became a sculptor. And he's a well-known sculptor in his own right. But then he, like I said earlier, you never get out of the business, and he decided he wanted back into the business. And we got introduced through a mutual friend, a gentleman named Dan Romanelli, who ran Warner Brothers Licensing, and we hit it off. Jeffrey and I hit it off, and we've launched Pickle Everything. And here
So
we
is
are.
this your first game together?
It's our first game together.
Okay.
Yes, it is.
I gotta ask a question. I want to get into Pickle Everything, but I gotta ask a question. You have kids, right? And then and they've probably grown as you were in the game and toy industry. Do you use them as kind of your little test, bed, and you like bring the concepts home and you say, "Hey, try this out. What do you think? What should I change?" Or do you keep them separate?
Yeah, Uncle Greg, that's a fantastic question. Yes, so as they were little and aging, getting older and older, yes, they were my test subjects for many years, and but it depended on what we were doing and if it was age appropriate. And
Right.
now, at least 3 of them are grown adults, and one is in mid-teens, so they generally um, don't have interest any longer in some of the things I'm doing. However, with Pickle Everything, that's a different story, because Pickle Everything is really a 10 and up game. Adults are enjoying it. Everybody's enjoying it. It's great for all ages.
Well, that's a perfect segue to share with our audience a little bit more about your game, which we've got here.
Yeah.
Pickle Everything and no court needed, which is kind of fun because sometimes it's hard to get out on the court.
That's exactly right. Yeah. So, Jeffrey originally recognized a need for this growing phenomenon called pickleball, and 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 he had the insight that let's not make it about pickleball, because even though what 50 million people are playing it right now, uh, there's some people that may not know about pickleball specifically. So let's make it a fun word game for everybody, and we'll theme it through pickleball and pickles as well, because pickles are incredibly popular, as you know. And that was the great insight. So what we feel it is just a great word game, and that's the path we're going down. So Pickle Everything is the initial game we're launching, and it's general knowledge, as you know. But we are about to come out with several other editions, and we're going to come out with a foodie deck, a pop culture deck, a sports deck.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah,
Uncle
This is
is
perfect.
sold,
I
yeah.
know.
a kids deck, and then this August we're going to have a boxed game with over 500 cards in it, and
Wow.
and so it's not just going to be pickles involved. Now you're going to have radishes and bananas and other fruits and vegetables come into play. So there's a lot of exciting things on the horizon for us.
Well, one of the things that I thought was really cool that you did with Pickle Everything is you actually have the instructions on a QR code. So I'm gonna hold up my box for people that are watching on YouTube. Has the QR code, and you can just hit it, and it tells you the instructions of the game. It gives you different variations of the game. I thought that was really smart.
Mhm.
That's kind of a newer thing that I think the gaming communities kind of get into. But for people that haven't had a chance to hit that QR code, tell everybody kind of the concept of it and the instructions.
Sure. Pickle Everything is a lot like pickleball. It's simple to learn, but it quickly gets um, pressurized, and there's a lot of subtleties to playing it. When suddenly you have competition around you, it's not so simple. Um, it's kind of like you get to the kitchen line and there's fast volleys. That's sort of what happens during Pickle Everything. But the basic premise is that every card has a clue, and every answer must start with the letter P. So if I was to say, as an example, uh, it's an Italian food, it's round, it has pepperoni, you might answer
Pizza
Pizza
pickle.
pickle.
pizza pickle, right? And the pickle is the part that has to come along with it, because if you forget the pickle, then the answer is not right. So uh, here's 53 cards with all sorts of clues that take you in all sorts of directions. And sometimes the P's are silent, as you've probably seen,
Oh,
as an
yeah.
example, pharmaceuticals or Phoenix, those are kind of trick questions.
Right.
So, yeah, so one person starts out as the reader, and then it goes around the table. If you get the answer right, it doesn't mean that you're going to read the next card. It passes around clockwise, and the one with the most cards at the end of the game wins.
Mm.
Pretty
And
simple.
it's whoever answers it correctly first with
Yeah,
pickle at the end.
yeah.
Right,
Thank
you
you.
have to be the first one to answer. Like Bridgie and I'm taking credit. I answered first, Bridgie. I'm getting the card on this one. So.
Fair.
And me reading the card, I'm the judge.
Oh,
So
okay.
so sometimes you guys might answer at the same time or close to it, and then it's everyone's looking at the judge, and the judge has to make a call. But that may come back
Mm.
to haunt me later in the game when I'm tied with somebody, and you're like, well, you didn't give me that one, so
Oh
Yeah, build
gosh.
your alliance.
build your alliance. And then once you've gone through all the cards and played, we've now added a new twist. So you go to round two, and round two is you can only say one word. So in the second time through, if if the clue if what I'm trying to get to is pizza, I might just say pepperoni, and you'll say pizza, pizza
Oh,
pepperoni.
I see.
Oh,
Yeah.
And
So,
going.
then the other variation too is the charades version, right?
and then there's charades on top of that.
How
So,
fun.
I
a
don't
lot
even know how I would do pizza in charade, right? How
Maybe
would
if
I
you like
do,
fold it in half and
or would
like
I spin
eat
it
a
on my
pizza.
finger, throw it up, and catch
Yeah.
it?
exactly, exactly.
Or would I hold it and put it in my mouth? And
Well, and that's what makes it open ended, right? Because everybody's got a different way of approaching that.
yeah,
So
very
Yeah,
lots of
for
play value for $9.99. I mean, it's incredible.
yeah, and you can take it anywhere because it's so compact. Like you can take it on road trips, just throw it in a purse or whatever, play at a bar. It's you can take it anywhere.
Yeah, take it anywhere. It's completely portable, no court needed, as you mentioned. And the other thing is, a lot of pickleball players love to be social, right? I know our personal network has just expanded like crazy just because of pickleball, and there's parties and get-togethers and all sorts of things. So now you play pickle everything, at those get-togethers. I mean, it's a perfect matchup.
that is. So how, we usually start by asking how you got into pickleball. How did you get into pickleball?
Yeah, good question. It was about a year and a half ago when my pickleball journey started, and just saw people playing, heard people playing, people were talking about it, and just went down to the court. My very first game, I didn't understand what the kitchen line was. I just came to the net, and was hitting it. Well, this is kind of easy. So it took me a little bit to understand it. I didn't understand the scoring, that sort of thing. It took a few lessons, and then slowly but surely got into it. I had been a lifelong pickup basketball player. That was my thing. So
Oh,
so I'd played for years, 2 or 3 times a week. Tournaments, leagues, whatever it was, and I never thought that I would become so passionate about something else in the same way that I was about basketball. I still think basketball is a great sport, but I'm not getting any younger, and the guys coming out on the court seem to be. Uh, but but pickleball just had everything for me. I mean, it just checked all the boxes. Um, and basketball, playing a lot of pickup basketball, I feel it's translated incredibly well. It's
yeah, I was gonna ask because a lot of times, you have the tennis player going to pickleball, and that transition always seems a little bit more seamless or
yeah.
easier. What can you take from basketball that you brought to the pickleball game?
I think it's the footwork. I think the footwork is similar. You're sliding a lot in basketball to defend. Um, you're you're going from very fast running and movements to suddenly slow touch. Um, and I see there's a lot of similarities in basketball and jumping. I can get up there, on high shots, um, and sometimes wrongly doing that because I should not let those balls hit those balls that are going out, I should say. Um, and then also going back on lobs, it's just something that's very natural for me to do. So I feel very good about my ability to cover the court, and I think that's a direct relation to what I've done in basketball.
So the other question that I've been thinking of, because obviously we got introduced through your wife, Lauren, who is the founder of Santa Barbara Happy, who creates some fantastic clothing that both Bridgie and I are wearing right now, and great designer. And she's working with the NPL. I know you're working with some of the teams on the NPL. You got one of the NPL caps on right now. Like, what which one came first? The chicken or egg? Is it the game? Is it the Santa Barbara Happy? How did this all happen? Because you're both in the pickleball community somehow, and
Yeah,
in the business.
yeah, sure. Pickleball, it just caught us both at kind of the same time. Uh, I started playing. I started to see what was happening and how crazy everything was getting with it. Lauren, who comes from an apparel design background, uh, she had really started a line of beach inspired activewear. here in Santa Barbara. That was her initial foray into apparel here. And what happened was we got asked to do a charity tournament, and the tournament said, "Hey, do you guys think you could make us some shirts, to um, sell at the event?" And so we looked at each other and said, "Yeah, pickleball apparel. Let's kind of do it, and we didn't think much would come of it, but we ended up, selling out of all those shirts, and then we just saw that, oh my gosh, there's a real business here to be had, and
Yeah.
so, you know, definitely the apparel came first, but as you see, there's so many opportunities within the pickleball world, and many entrepreneurs are diving into it with all sorts of concepts and ideas, and we want to be right there with them.
Well, you definitely are. I mean, between the wonderful designs of your wife and your super fun game, like I don't see how it can be unsuccessful. The game is great, and you've got some stuff coming up too down the line. For our listeners who may want to purchase one of these games, where can they go and find you?
Sure, we're on Amazon, and or you can go to our website, which is pickle-everything.games. We are getting into retailers across the country right now. So we're starting with certainly with smaller retailers. We're going to try to build a fire. What's fantastic is there's pickleball shops out there that are really coming on strong. Here in Santa Barbara Pickleball Shop is a great one, and they're carrying the product. And so that's a whole nother sales channel for us, in the game area that didn't exist before. In
Yeah.
fact, by the way, Jeffrey Breslow, my partner, is also an investor in a pickleball facility in Illinois, in Algonquin,
Oh,
Illinois.
Oh, so is he an avid pickleball player as well?
Um, he's not as much of a pickleball player, but
Okay.
he's definitely an investor in the pickleball world.
He sees the opportunity for sure.
Absolutely, yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
And
So
then obviously plug your Instagram account as well.
sure, we are at Pickle Everything Games, and or Pickle Everything Game, sorry, and we're also on TikTok as Pickle Everything One. It's amazing, you go to get these names, and someone's already got something.
Yeah.
who'd have
It's
thought?
crazy. How does somebody already have Pickle Everything
I
game,
know,
right?
I
But they
know.
did. You had to throw the one on there.
Yeah,
We wish you the greatest success, and the game's already taken off. I mean, you sold so many of these already, and we've had some fun with it. Russ, Bridgie, and I, we're all playing. We're doing the pea and the pickle, and we're just having a blast with it.
that's great. It's great to hear, and it's exciting to hear when people are having fun with it. I mean, that's what being in this industry I'm in is all about, is fun, and giving people a break from the norm.
Yeah, well, actually, one of the things the three of us did, we start coming up with our own questions too, just to kind of quiz each other and have some fun with it. So,
Well, that's what people end up doing, is it gets in your head, right?
yep,
And so
It does,
you're
yeah.
adding pickle to everything as you go through your day.
Every P
exactly.
word pickle follows.
It becomes a real problem, pickle, Frank. It really does. I can't stop. I
That's
need to
good.
go see a psychologist, pickle, really quickly to
Oh my goodness.
deal with this.
Oh
Yeah.
wow. We're gonna bring you in on the next go round when we create the next movie.
I'm here for you, Frank. I'm here for you. So,
Thank you.
thank you again for coming on the show. And before we let you go, we do need to take our favorite third shot.
Our third shot.
Oh, our third shot. A little bit left here. Hold on.
That's
Wait.
all right. Well,
Perfect. That works.
I've got some more. There we go.
all right. Here you go. Cheers to pickle
Cheers.
everything.
Cheers.
We should have been doing pickle shots.
Oh,
Dang, missed opportunity.
stop.
Is it? I haven't gone through every card, but is there a pickle
There is in the foodie deck.
in the foodie deck? Okay.
Ooh,
Yes.
that's the one I'm looking forward to,
Yes.
especially.
Yes.
Well,
Absolutely.
I can't wait. I'm looking forward to it. Thanks again for coming on the show, Frank. And thank you, everybody, for joining us on Third Shot. Bridgie and I will continue to share our pickleball journey. A real special thanks to Frank for coming on the show. Go check out his game. Please get one. You will have a blast. Even if you're not a pickleball player, you will have fun with this game. It is a word game and it is very entertaining. And support us. We try to be as entertaining as possible. Come back, support us, watch us on YouTube, support us on our social media, whether it's Instagram, Facebook, X. We are there for you. We will continue to create our content and share our journey in the pickleball world. So come back next week and we will have another fantastic guest, just like Frank. See you next time on Third Shot Podcast.